Hello there, Jin here, and welcome to the next installment of Baking with MC. Ta-da! In the previous and first episode of Baking with MC, we made some low-calorie and healthy cupcakes. If you have not seen that yet, I will leave it as the first link in the description below. But today we're going to be making something different. We will be making some brownies. But they won't be just any brownies. They're of course going to be healthier and lower calorie too. So it'll be perfect for all MCs to enjoy. So let's see what ingredients we need. First, we need some sugar or sugar substitute. Use sugar substitute to lower the sugar content and of course reduce the calories. Some flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, salt, applesauce, egg whites or egg replacer, vanilla extract, milk or almond milk to reduce the calories, some optional chocolate syrup to make them just a little bit more chocolatey, and some dark chocolate to make them a little bit fudgier. So here are the base ingredients we're going to need. So let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. Next up, I'm just going to make the egg replacement. I'm not vegan, you can use egg of course, but this is a lot more calorie friendly. So I'm just going to weigh up 18 grams of this, which is equivalent to 6 egg whites. Oh my god, why do I always end up opening these packets incorrectly? It's so interesting how something like this can actually mimic an egg, and it's made from just flour as well. It's got like potato and tapioca starch in it. Oh my god, I talk so much the scale's turned off. Now we need to add 90 ml of water. Just mix that up. I guess this is kind of similar to when you use cornstarch to thicken up sauces and such. Kind of lumpy. Maybe I should have sifted it first, but it's too late to go back now. It's become like a white, sort of thick paste. So I'm just going to leave it to thicken up while we do the rest of the ingredients. We have our big bowl, but I'm going to put the dry ingredients to a smaller bowl first and then sift them into this. Okay, so I'm going to use the flour and the cocoa powder first so I can sift them together. So we need 90 grams of flour and 50 grams of cocoa powder. We also need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder is equal to 3.5 grams. So we're also going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Salt enhances sweet flavors such as chocolate, but you can also see them adding salt into chocolate chip cookies to enhance that flavor too. And it tastes good of course in savory dishes. That's a little too much, whoops. So 5 grams of salt. So that's all of our main dry ingredients minus the sugar, because these ones are siftable, the sugar won't. So I'm going to go through the sift properly, so just time to sift these out. I've got one of these sifts which looks like a cake tin, so this one's really practical and easy. So you just pour the dry ingredients into that and shake it up a bit. And not only is it easier for the dry ingredients to get mixed up together, they're also lump free too. So now we're left with a lot of lumps. I'm just going to sit there and press it with my fingers. Because you can honestly make these without sifting the ingredients, but then you'll be left with some clumps of cocoa powder or flour in certain areas. Or maybe even baking powder too, and that means that the baking powder won't be evenly distributed across the whole batter. That's all our dry ingredients mixed together. Now that the dry ingredients are all lump free, we can go ahead and add in the sugar. So that's 225 grams of sugar. I'm going to use sugar substitute, of course, to reduce the sugar content and the calories. So in goes the sugar as well. Time to mix up the wet ingredients. How are you going? Okay, this is thickening up a bit. So I'm going to start with applesauce for the wet ingredients. So that's 70 grams of that. And now I'm going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm also going to put in 50 grams of this Walden Farms chocolate dip. It's just going to make everything a little more chocolatey. You don't have to add this in if you don't want to. Or if you do want to add in the chocolate dip but you don't have this one, you can just add in chocolate syrup or chocolate ice cream topping. I'm sure everyone has some of that at home. But I'd recommend using a sugar-free one. If there's a Hershey's sugar-free one, I think I haven't tasted it though. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in the egg replacer. And if you're not using egg replacer, you can just go ahead and add in 6 egg whites. So in that goes 2. And now we mix. So this is all the wet ingredients mixed together. These white things here are just lumps of the flour from the egg replacer. And now we're going to go ahead and add the wet ingredients into the dry. I'm not vegan, by the way, but this recipe is. So if you're vegan or dairy intolerant or anything like that, these are perfect for you. And also if you just want to eat like a low calorie treat, it's really big. I'm just going to add a little bit of almond milk to loosen it up a little bit. That's a nice thick batter, if you can see it. Also, what I'm going to add in, this is 100% optional, but I'm just going to add in a little bit of coffee extract because coffee helps to bring out the chocolate flavor a little bit more. So our last ingredient here, which is 100% optional but 100% recommended at the same time, is adding in dark chocolate, or you can add in dark chocolate chips as well. Of course, adding in some form of chocolate will make the brownies a lot fudgier and a lot more nice too. Okay, now a normal person, when they don't have chocolate chips on hand, they would get some normal chocolate and, cut it up like a civilized person. But I mean, you could do that, or you could use the other method, which is putting it into a Ziploc bag and wrapping it. There goes my table. But if you have some anger problems, this is a very good way to take it out on something. So, what do I think of? Well, I'm kind of holding a grudge against treats for not releasing Ray's after story and for not releasing or announcing any vandalwood route whatsoever. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. In hindsight, it probably would have been a lot easier to just cut this up. Okay, so let's add these chocolate chunks into the batter. I'm just adding a few of the chocolate chunks in now, and I will sprinkle some at the bottom of the pan and on top of the brownie. Because someone had told me once that to make the brownies a little bit fudgier, you sprinkle some chocolate chip at the bottom of the lined pan before you pour the batter. And the baking shows make these things look so glamorous, but they're actually quite messy. Okay, so here is a lined 8x8 square pan. Okay, so I'll just pour some of the chocolate chunks in at the bottom. And now in goes the batter. Just spread. Oh wow, there's a lot of chocolate chips in here. I did test out a brownie recipe a few days ago. You'll probably see it in my mini vlog where I'm just ranting on about Google Translate. What else? Mr. Love Quaint Toast, which I'll be playing very soon. In that vlog I mentioned that I was going to do another baking with MC, specifically for brownie. So I decided to test a brownie recipe there. But that one was made with pumpkin, cocoa powder. And although the brownies did come out super delicious and super low calorie, they were more fudgy than chewy. So I'm hoping that these ones turn out a bit chewier. They are going to turn out fudgy, but just that chewiness was missing. And that's due to the flour, because the other ones didn't have any flour in them. The remaining chocolate chips on top. Okay, so I'll leave all the ingredients and measurements down below in the description, as well as the method. Oh my god, that always happens. Anyways, so into the oven these go at 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. So oven time, are you ready? Let us go. Now it's time to clean. Not bad. I see what they're like when they're baked. Look at the gooey chocolate pieces that are melted. Yum. But yeah, also with the last brownies that I made in that vlog, they also had a frosting. So with the frosting, there were 50 calories per piece. So this one doesn't have a frosting, but it does have chocolate chips in, which the other one did not. Okay, so the brownies have finished baking and they're out of the oven. They've been cooling on the counter for about an hour or so, so they're just slightly warm now. So now we can take them out of the pan and cut them up. They smell pretty good actually. They've risen a little bit and they're quite firm now. So fingers crossed that they turn out fudgy and chewy this time. They're really dense. And this is quite heavy, which is good. This is a thickness. And it's a solid thickness too. So yeah, that's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. Let's just cut them up and divide them into 16 egg pieces. Yeah, they're a lot firmer than the ones made with pumpkin, which I expected, because these ones actually have flour in them. And I cut straight through the paper. That's great. Alright, all cut up. Let's just take a piece. Oh, yum. So I'll just do a taste test here. They smell really good. And I'll see the chocolate chips. Okay, this is a lot more chewy than the pumpkin ones. I like them, they're very good. And so the top of it and the edges are crispy and the inside's a bit spongy, and you can also taste the chocolate chips in it. And the chocolate chips make it super fudgy. Okay, so the whole batch of brownies has 712 calories, which is 22 grams of fat, 120 grams of carbs, and 21 grams of protein. And the whole thing only has 11.5 grams of sugar. That is ridiculously low. When you go buy brownies from shops or cafes or supermarkets or whatever, you get like a piece like this, which is not only over 300 calories, but also over 30 grams of sugar. So one brownie you buy from a store is over half your recommended daily intake of sugar. Whereas these ones, the whole tray is only 11.5 grams of sugar. So that's super good. And also they're dairy free and of course vegan, egg free too. And that means that if you cut the whole tray into 16 pieces, each piece is 45 calories, only 45 calories, that is super low, and only 0.7 grams of sugar. So basically, like with the pumpkin brownies that I made, you can have 4 of these for 200 calories and less than 2 grams of sugar. So anyway, this concludes our second installment of Baking with MC. This time we did brownies, super low calorie and low sugar ones. So these are suitable for MCs of all types. So please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this. And also if you enjoyed this video. If you do end up making these brownies, please tag me on Instagram so I can see them too. I will leave the whole recipe in the description box with gram measurement and the method as well. And I'll also include the calories for the whole batch and for each brownie. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. I really hope that you did enjoy it. I'll be back soon for another Baking with MC video. But yeah, subscribe for more. Also, please follow me on my Instagram at Jindere. And I will see you very soon for a new video. But until then, bye for now. Oh my god, how many pieces have I eaten already? Okay, you've only eaten 2. Maybe I should stop after the third one.